Hello and welcome in a new video. In this video we have Rust beginner tutorial. So let's start. Installing Rust. How to install it? You will need to install the Rust programming language from the official website of rustlang.org. So you just click on get started and then you will have the steps to install Rust in your system. So let's create a project in Rust. In Rust you have cargo, it's like npm in JavaScript but for Rust. It gives you the ability to create projects and add libraries, compile them and build projects. We can create a project using this command. Cargo, new and the project name. Then you will have the project in your directory. So let's go. Now how to print to the console. You can print easily. So under the crc folder in the project you generated using cargo new, you will find the main.rs file, which is a Rust file. Click on it and you will find this code. Println exclamation point hello world. This is how you print in Rust. Println is short for print line, so you can't just write print, but it's better to write print line to use different lines for each printing. Then you can build and run the project using this command, which is cargo run. So let's go to variables in Rust. In Rust there is a lot of types of variables like other languages. We have the first variable, number, which is an integer with value of 32. And then we have a float, which is a decimal number, 32.4. Then we have a string, hello, which is a word or a phrase. You can enter any type of string you want. Then we have a character, which is one character. Here we have h. Then we have booleans, which is true or false, and it's mostly used when you're trying to write logic in your code. So, and this is how to print your variables and make sure they are in the order you want. So each bracket inside the commas, it's a variable. So if you put a word like hello and then you put a brackets, then after the double quotes you just make a comma and then the name. You will need in the name variable will be put in the position you put the brackets. So make sure to order them like you want. Then we have logic in Rust, which is if statements. You can create if statements in Rust easily, just like if money is bigger than 40. So here in Rust you don't need round brackets. You can just write directly money and 40. It's like Python, but you will need brackets because it's like C++, and brackets are really good and a really good way to organize your code. So next we have user input in Rust. You can do user input easily in Rust. You just call std the standard library, and then you have IO, which means input and output. Then inside this IO library, or you could just call the stdin function, which is the standard input function. Then you just dot read line, which is what variable you want to insert, and we don't forget that the variable need to be mutable, because in Rust variables are immutable by default. So you just need to after let you need to add mute, which convert this variable from an immutable variable to a mutable variable. Then you will need to give a value. You can't in C++ you can't give an empty variable and like give it some insert value to it. So we need to create a string new, which which give us an empty string in our variable. Then we have dot expect, which means like return an error. After in Rust, we need to return this error. So if you don't do it, it's going to give you an error, like you didn't expect it, if it's going to be an error or not in this input in its input function. So you need to do dot expect. Then if you like had an error, you can easily find why, because the problem is going to be on read line, which returned an error. So thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe and like and share the video. Goodbye to another video.